We have the experts to make sense of the legal and financial process. Raquel Pérez is from Lawyers of Spain, and Alfonso Rivera is a financial advisor from Mortgage and Accounting Network. Raquel, tell us, how do you go about buying a commercial property?
Well, the process is very similar of buying a normal property, a different property. The first step will be to make an offer through a real estate agency to the seller and wait confirmation. Secondly, a deposit should be lodged either with the solicitor or the real estate agency and wait confirmation from the vendor. The next step will be to appoint a solicitor in order to check that all the legalities are correct and all the searches are checked out and everything is in order. Once you have your premises and you complete the title deed of the purchase, you need to apply in the town hall for the opening license. For this purpose, you will have to provide a number of documents, like, for example, the registration in the Social Security, because you need to be registered as a self-employed, as part of the company, a shareholder or administrator of the company. Also, you need to provide like a memory with an explanation of the activity that you will carry out in the business. Also, you need to fill in some forms for them.
And what would be the main difference, Raquel, between buying an existing business from somebody and, say, starting afresh, like some people we know, and doing that?
It's not a big difference. The difference is established whether you buy the property or you lease the property.
Right.
That's the main difference. Apart of that, even if the property has the opening license from the town hall, you need to provide some documentation, because obviously it's a new person who is going to be opening the business or enjoying the business, if you like. So they need to change the title of the opening license into the new name, into the new person.
But when you're buying an existing business, what checks do you have to make?
If it is an ongoing business, basically we need to check if the landlord, which kind of contract, the person who passed on to you the business, until when can you stay, for example, in the business, or if you will enjoy the same conditions as the person who was in the business before.
Length of lease and things like this, you mean?
Exactly, duration of the lease.
One thing you don't want to be doing is taking on somebody else's problems and aggravations.
Exactly.
So,
you have also to check that everything is paid up to date.
I was going to ask, how do you check what the debts are connected to the business and see if there are any?
You can check the property in the land registry office, but apart of that, you can check in the Social Security, or if you're going to be using same providers, you need to check if there's any debt against the property.
What about if your business is established in England? So you're coming here and your business is here, but it's registered in England. Is there a difference or a problem?
The difference will be the company. If you're going to be using the same company as in England, I mean the same name of the company, then you will have to prepare, or the fiscal advisor or an accountant will have to prepare a same declaration.
Is it more complicated?
It's not more complicated, just you have to separate. It's because England is England and has different jurisdiction and legislation, and Spain has different treatment. So then you need to appoint here a fiscal advisor and also an accountant.
Apart from looking at the sofa over there, how would I go about finding a good lawyer?
Finding a good lawyer? There's one way. They can ask to the Spanish consulate in England, but in my personal opinion, would be to ask someone who already bought a property in Spain, and what you call word of mouth. That's the best
personal recommendation.
Yeah, personal recommendation.
Register a company out here. How do you go about it? What do you have to do?
Well, the first step will be to apply to the company's house for the name. You have to propose 3 names by order of preference.
Is that Spanish company's house?
Yes, it's a company's house. It's a central company's house, which is located in Madrid.
Okay.
So you have to apply for a certificate. which once it's provided, it means that that company doesn't exist in anyone's name. So then you can reserve your company name.
I see.
So once you have this certificate, then you will have to deposit the minimum capital of the company in a bank account opened in the name of the Spanish company. The minimum capital is 3,010 euros. So with these two certificates, you will have to go to a notary public, a Spanish notary public, which is not a lawyer, it's an official, which is the difference in Spain and England. And then you can sign the incorporation deeds or charter. That will be the process.
Now, what about if you had a company in England and you wanted to set up a branch, let's say, over here? How does that work with the name, if you want to retain the name?
You have to apply for the name. It's exactly the same process, but you cannot work with the company as limited or as different. It should be an SL or an SA.
SL and SA, what's the difference?
The difference is that the SL, you can inform a company as an SL when you provide the minimum capital, which is 3,010. When you want to incorporate an SA, the minimum capital of the company must be 60,000 euros.
So when you've got your new property, you have to register it.
Yeah.
So how do you do that?
Well, once the title deed is signed before the notary public, and then you pay the taxes and the notary fees, the title deed itself will be taken to the land registry. So the officials in the land registry will take note of the new title holders of the property.
And is there a difference in procedure if you're buying new premises?
No, it's exactly the same process.
So if it's the same as a
The
brand
difference in the
new,
taxes.
or if it's an old premises?
If it is an old premises, I mean, the contract will be slightly different,
Yes.
and also the payment scheme, obviously, is not the same as you buy a new property. Or basically, the difference is in searches on the property with the developers, or when you buy between physical persons.
Right.
So the lawyer will check the legalities of the property.
Of course. Before you pay any, before the client pay any
Well, there's
other
been so
payment.
much information, and thank you both so much for joining.
Of this resale scam is Antonio Flores, a lawyer out here in Marbella. Antonio, are the Spanish police cracking down hard enough on this problem?
We believe the Spanish police is working very hard to dismantle these criminal organisations, in particular the Malaga fraud squad. So we are quite happy on what they're doing.
So who's behind this? Because we've heard that Maggie and David have had calls from at least 12 companies.
Well, companies crop up all the time. We've identified around 50 companies, each one of them having around 25 telesales operators working for them. But we believe there's about 3 or 4 people who are the ringleaders, who are the responsible people behind the scam.
So if any of the victims of this scam receive a telephone call from a company saying, look, we can help you, we can rescue you, should they believe them?
Not at all. Anyone who phones, cold calls your home with a request to either sell your timeshare or to offer you legal services to recover your money is an outright scam.